If I had one wish, we would be best friends. Okay, so I know that I'm not a singer. You don't need to tell me. But I did rewatch Aladdin yesterday because why not? And it's Saturday. I feel like we shouldn't have to talk about anything like serious. So I wanted to know, if you had a genie and you had three wishes, what would you wish for? I'm going to tell you mine right after the intro. And welcome back to another episode of the Daily Donna with me, your host, Dr. Donna Oriolo, sex and relationship therapist in the Washington, D.C. metro area, author of Drink Water and Mind Your Business, a Black woman's guide to unlearning the BS and healing self-esteem. And I felt like this, funnily enough, so I turned to my husband and I asked this question last night when we were watching Aladdin, like, hey, basically, Aladdin made two wishes in this movie, right? He got four, he stole two. So remember his first unofficial, I didn't actually make this wish was to get up out of that cave. The official wish was to be a prince. And I'll say this, that for a man that just, or for a genie that had just got tricked, he didn't do Aladdin dirty. Instead, what he did was he made sure to give him all the fixings with that wish because I mean, there are princes who are paupers too. So that this man was just like, all right, 75 golden camels, about to get these peacocks, these monkeys. We got a retinue, right? Like we got you staff. We got you flunkies. I mean, he got the whole shebang, right? A house. Although I guess, when you're going to go visit a princess, you don't bring your house with you. That would be ridiculous. But his next wish was also an unofficial wish. It was to save his life, because you remember he had got drowned. I also feel like these are not spoilers because Aladdin is 1992, 1993. So seriously, get serious here. And the last one was I wish you free. All right, like I wish you free, Genie. And I started thinking about like, well, what would you wish for? And I want you to actually take the time to consider what you would wish for. Therapeutically speaking, I think that while the wish is exciting, it's the why behind the wish that tells you more. So I will give you my wishes, which means that I am going to be vulnerable with you. So my three wishes were money in the account or in my pocket, teleportation, and I understand all languages I come in contact with. Now, let me give you the details. So the first one was money in my pocket. It is not as simple as put some money in my pocket. I'm not wishing for a specific dollar amount. What I actually wished for, or what I would actually wish for, in case a genie or I don't know, a benefactor wants to give me a dollar or two. What I wish for is that every single time I went to buy something that I had the exact amount of money in my pocket or in my account. Which means if I want to buy a house, some groceries, a yacht, a flight, whatever it is that I'm trying to buy, I already have the money and that I would always already have the money. So like I was thinking about the why behind this gift, right? Like some of it is, when you live in a space of any level of scarcity, and you just don't be having it, or you don't have enough, or you feel like now you got to compromise the thing that you actually want to get something that is what I desire adjacent, where you either have to save for a long time or you need to just say, okay, I can't have that thing. What is the next best thing that I can actually have? I think that that is the thing that sort of inspires that gift. And while it would have been easier to wish for some buku amounts of money, I don't want to have to manage anything either, right? I'm a first gen, firstborn daughter. I have enough on my mind. And the idea of having financial freedom, but not copious amounts of money just hanging about, also would dissuade anyone from trying to your girl in order to, grab the cash because it doesn't work that way. When I'm done, so is this gift. Right. So that's what I would want. I would want to make sure that I always had what the money that I needed. Always know that I'm always provided for, that it didn't matter what I want to do, no matter how small, how large, whatever. And I feel like it would make me like the best at like birthdays and Christmases and all that stuff. Not because I would have like technically unlimited funds, but specifically because I wouldn't be worried about my funds. I spend a lot of time, I think, worried about money. And I recognize money as the thing that actually gives you choices. And with money always in your pocket, you just have more choices. So if I want to take a ballet class, I can take one. If I want to take if I, like I can pay the mortgage and I wouldn't necessarily have to work, right? Like it gives me the choice of how I spend my time and how I engage. And I kind of low key wonder what I would do if I knew that no matter what I wanted to do, it was already going to be provided for, that it was already in the bank. Like being able to get a pair of new skates and hire a skate instructor, a private skate instructor to teach me in a private space. Right now I'm in a public class with other people, and I like that too because it definitely offers, I think it's character building to fall in front of other people. But also when my nerves are bad, on those days where like I don't have the space to really be hearing shouting children, then what? Right? I'm like, well, now I have to endure it, character building and all that. But that's what my first wish would be. Let me know what you think about this here first wish, because I feel like while most people would ask for copious amounts of money, it is not necessarily heard up to say, no, I just want every time I reach into my pocket, like, oh, I'm about to buy this pack of gum, exact change. Boom. No matter where I am in the world, I always have just whoop, doo, 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 doo. There you go. All right, my second wish was teleportation. A bad girl wants this bad chick wants to go everywhere. I want to see everything. I want to be able to experience all the delights that life has to offer. And I'm not a fan of traffic. I'm not a fan of airports. I'm not a fan of airport security. I feel like the part where one is getting ready to travel sometimes feels so harrowing. It feels so anxiety producing. I mean, that's part of the reason why I gave this video here on like my 5 tips for dealing with flight anxiety, for example, which I don't know if they work now when you got those other people in the airports, not just your regular TSA, but ice baby, when they're in the space. I feel like that also changes up the dynamic about what it feels like to just be able to get somewhere both inside and outside the country. So I would want to be able to teleport. I want to be able to go wherever I want to go, and I feel like it would take me to a space where I feel like maybe this is going to sound a little weird, maybe like closest to God, in that man is the one that put all these lines on the map, decided to stick a flag in it and say, this is mine, despite the fact that you didn't make it, that it predates you, that it predates your ancestors. You know that I'm like, you can't say that something is prehistoric or was here in prehistoric times and say is yours. Where's your sense, baby? Where's your sense? Right? Like, I think of this thing as a thing that was created for all of people and creatures to be able to enjoy, but a bunch of people decided that they own various masses of land, that it only belonged to them, and that now you had to ask them to come, you had to ask for permission to come onto this mass of land. This is what when I say that they put life behind the paywall, this is part of what I mean. So with teleportation, I would basically be going around this idea of the paywall altogether. I'd be able to go where I want to go. And I added the additional caveat that I got 2 arms. Boop boop. If I can hold you, you can come with. So I'm just like, I'm thinking about the possibility of eating, like saying I want Indian food and going to India to get it. Like, yes, the first thing I of course thought about was food. My bad. I like, what am I supposed to feel ashamed? I don't. But it also made me think about the level of togetherness I could experience with friends and family. Like, I could have gotten to really know my grandmother, for example, right? Like my grandma is in Nigeria. She only speaks Yoruba. I only speak English. So, I mean, there's kind of a language, there's a communication problem, if you will. But I wonder if I was able to pop in whenever I got getting ready to, how could I have gotten to know her, right? Like one grandma already passed, but got one left. Um, it just made me think about like how close you can be to your friends and family, especially since my friends had the unmitigated gall, the audacity to not even live in the DMV area. Why would you be in Pennsylvania? Move. Why are you out there in Arizona? Move. And let me tell you, I try. I'd be like, hey, did you see this listing? Like it's down the street. We could all live on this street together and have us a little sex education block party. We could have a mental health block party. Like just move. And if you're watching, move. Anyway, the teleportation for me is more like how you can be better in concert with other people, how you can also be better in concert with friends and family, but also people who are not necessarily your people, the ability to see and experience and just be in these other places. And still, yes, I'd have my home base. I don't think that I'd let that go, but it's the freedom that it offers and freedom from man's idea of what belongs to them when it belongs to the world and man will perish as all things do. Anyway, the third wish was the lit of tongues. I want to be able to, like, if I come in contact with that new language or new dialect, not only am I able to speak it, I'm able to understand it, I'm able to write it, read, write, all of that. I want to be able to do all of that just because I came into contact with it. For me, I like to be able to communicate with the people around me, and to specifically be able to communicate effectively. But I think one of the biggest things that I end up thinking about with regard to the language, in addition to just being able to, hear and to say, is that piece of feeling heard, feeling understood, and being able to have the words in any language to be able to be understood. For someone to be able to hear your words, know your words, understand your words, and hopefully take heed of them. And I recognize that any language knowing does not necessarily make it so that people will heed what you have said. But wow, if I'm taking away this piece where I can't go anywhere I want to go, and with teleportation, I can go and be anywhere and experience anything at any time, being able to experience it in the people's mother tongue, being able to understand what I'm hearing and see the beauty of it and hear the beauty of it, not just as a language that is foreign to me, but also being able to understand what they said. Truly, like a very sloppy chef's kiss. It I think that it would bring a level of wonderment. Like in learning French, one of the things that I have most loved about it is when something clicks and I finally understand the why behind it. And in French, they call it Allemande, right? The country of Germany, Allemande, or something like that. And I was just like, but why? Because the original name means for the people or of the people. So in French, they call it by its original name. And it's the same thing like if you have ever been a Harry Potter head, and please don't talk to me about that lady who wrote it. Dang fool. Um, in French, they call the school Poudlard, which is the same thing as like a hog, right? Like it's called Hogwarts. And while they could have kept the name, what they did instead was they changed it to make sure that in French it had the same meaning as the original naming. And I thought, oh, how often do they do this? And I'll say this, I was trying to translate my book, Drink Water, Mind Your Business, into French. And let me tell you, that was where I was just like, okay, so do I need it to say the meaning or do I want a word to word translation? And tired. I decided to put that one down for a little bit. I'm gonna try again. I think I did like a page and then kind of gave it up. Gave it up as a lost cause. The girl got way too many things to do. Anyway, the point is, I would love for you to explore not only what your wishes would be, but also the whys behind it. I think that those things tell you a lot about yourself and what it is that you're craving. And I find that what I'm craving is to not feel anxious about having enough, that I want the freedom of movement. And I also like the beauty of language. I think that basically I'm asking for a worry free, a carefree, beautiful life that allows me the greatest amount of stretching and freedom. I think that Aladdin's gift or Aladdin's wishes were very much about, I want her, right? And while he could not wish for her, he could wish to put himself in position to have his heart's desires. That was his wish. I want to put myself in the position to have the things that I truly desire. And what he truly desired was love, companionship, friendship. And the best way for him to have companionship, love, friendship was to wish to be in proximity to Jasmine so that she could have him as a considered partner, but also to free the genie so that he knew he had a friend and that that friend was not subordinate to him. Some of y'all be wishing y'all friends to stay subordinate to you. You want them to just be the wallet. You want them to just be the one to give you the connect, to give you the hookup, to give you the thing. You don't want to know them. You don't want to sit with them. You don't want to know them, break bread with them, spend time with them. You don't want that. You don't want them. You want their resources. Aladdin might be a better friend than you, buddy. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Don't forget to, if you're feeling brave, you're feeling ready to be vulnerable, add at least one wish into the comment section below. And if you're also feeling extra spicy, extra brave, extra, go ahead and tell me why. Now, if you made it to this point in the video and you are not feeling all that vulnerable, I want you to tell me your favorite flower. My favorite flower is hydrangeas today. Today is hydrangeas. Mostly it's hydrangeas. I always return to the beauty of the hydrangea. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. What's your favorite flower? All right. You are the bee's knees. I am Dr. Donna. This is the Daily Donna. And I'm going to be back when? Tomorrow, because this is the Daily Donna. So I'll see ya. Bye.